Hi, my name is Reema jebisow, and today I'm going to speak on the topic the role of caste in Indian politics. First of all, in the Indian politics, there have been so many categories, so many issues, and so many factors, and each of them plays their role not only singly but in consultation with others. That they play a very cauldron of studies of different categories and issues. Caste is a very important category that plays a major role in development of Indian politics. It is not that caste only plays the role, caste is also being shaped by the nature and contour of Indian politics. Moving on, let's know about the caste in Indian politics. First of all, to know about the caste in Indian politics, we have to know about the definition of the caste and the features of caste. Secondly, the role that caste played during the colonial period in Indian politics. There are several subcategories related to the role that caste played during the colonial period in Indian politics. They are like from the perspective of the British intervention, from the perspective of the kinds of reaction from the people in Indian coalescence or the mixture of caste and class, the ushering in of the sovereignty, democratic republication Indian through the adaptation of constitution, and finally the consequence of caste during the post-independence period. So now let's know about the definition of the caste. There are no sociologists have been made in agreement in the definition of caste. Some scholars believe that caste is an offshoot of the traditional Varna system, that is the Chaturvarna Pratha or the four Varna system that existed from the later part of the Vedic period and which became a very structured and crystallized form since the days of the Smriti literature. According to that literature or that tradition, there were four Varnas: the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Sudras. The Brahmins are those who were known as the knowledgeable, and in other words, they were known as the high caste. Whereas the Kshatriyas were the warrior class, the Vaishyas were the trading class, and the Sudras finally, who were the laboring classes. Outside this four Varna system were the Panchnavas or the Atisudras, who were not included in this Varna system and were considered as untouchables. So moving on, like every aspect or every topic has its own negative and positive sides or advantages and disadvantages. Similarly, thereby the caste also has its positive and negative and advantages and disadvantages. So let's talk about the positive of the caste system. The caste system brings some positive points and advantages to the society in India. Caste acted as a trade union and protected its members from the exploitation. It promotes political stability and promotes economic development. It provides social to individuals like choice in marriage and skills of hereditary occupation of a caste from one government to another. Moving on to the negative impact or the disadvantages of the caste system. Despite there being many negative aspects of caste system in India, caste system is bad because it divides people from birth. It never unites people, like people are divided into high caste or low caste, or it's in the mindset that they are being born in the high caste or are being born in the low caste. Caste system promotes the monopoly of upper caste and creates better against upper caste in the mind of lower caste, which ultimately divides society into different categories. Political influence of caste system in national election is harm for the democracy. That leads me to my next topic, that is the role of constitution. The Constitution of India underlines that in order to bring inequality and justice, we need certain things for the enumeration of the caste inequalities and for the eradictions of the practices that are associated with the caste system. So some of the things were adopted in the Indian Constitution to handle the caste problem. The Constitution employed first the protective provision, second the positive discrimination, and third the certain development strategies. So in the protective provisions, they were given to the backward classes to bring equality. As people of the backward classes we're not treated equally, and they need some protection, and they needed some protection for the development among the backward classes. Positive discrimination. Certain special privileges and provisions are given to the scheduled caste in order to bring injustice and equality in the society. Policy of reservation and caste deprived. It is mentioned in Article 17, and certain development strategies like the Constitution proclaims that certain legislations are necessary for the development of the particular group of people which will not violate the principle of equality, so that India could really assure an equal society. So I would like to proceed to my next topic, that is caste in the modern system. The leaders of independent India decided that India will be democratic, socialist and secular country. According to this policy, there is a separation between religion and state. Practicing untouchability or discriminating a person based on his caste is legally forbidden. Along with this law, the government allows positive discrimination of the depressed classes of India. According to the central government, the state government of India also follow a positive discrimination policy. Different states have different figures of communities entitled for positive discrimination based on the population of each state. Sometimes a specific community is entitled. Moving on, as we can see, the global pandemic COVID-19 spreading all over the world, including India. There are many questions arising, like how do we advise scavengers? How do you tell an Adivasi who struggles for one meal a day to prioritize hand sanitizers? Dominant narrative in India so far has been either about the state enforcing lockdown or encouraging social distancing and self-quarantine, hand hygienic and curve etiquette. Driven by political optics, public perception, and international pressure, the measures are important but colored by with class bias. Moving on. Economically lockdown, restricted travels, ban on public gatherings, and work from home will eventually uh, low down the wages. Small shops owners and the factory workers will suffer from reminiscence or of recession. Furthermore, the pandemic is being cited as a reason to end the protest against the Citizenship Amendment Act. This kind of panic will shroud the solidarity of citizenry but also allow authorities to enforce the agenda of the Amendment Act, causing apprehension and distrust. This does not bode well for the epidemic management. Moving on, there are several Brahminical and caste fundamental campaigns have used the social distancing measure to defend caste discrimination, saying that caste-based distancing is a cure of coronavirus that they have discovered thousands of years ago. Even in another wise rationalist and Dravidian state like Tamil Nadu, this mantra is being spread on social media. The same force also saying that meat, lamb, beef, chicken and egg, etc. eaters will get coronavirus, but vegetarian won't. This dirty campaign showed the closure of all meat shops in Telangana. Then Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, on the advice of doctors, made a strong plea to the people to eat more meat for protein. This will develop immune system, which is crucial to fight coronavirus. From the next day, there were massive choirs outside selling chicken and meats with a message all the rumors were stopped and even the price of the product were down. Even the poor in Telangana are eating meat now. The return of caste to the public sphere has been a matter of much concern in the recent past in Kerala. It is in this context that the ongoing attempts of using social distancing as a justification for the caste system needed to address. At least part of this narrative seems to emerge from the visual imaginary and language that has come to be associated with battling the pandemic. In a society like ours, the word social distancing is easily misconceived to the distancing based on social differences. It runs the risk of letting people with narrow-minded interest equity or practical strategy to fight the spread of a virus by staying apart to stay together with the exclusively practices enforced by one section of the society to dominate other. As long as caste in India does not exist, Hindus will hardly intermix or have any social interaction with others. So moving on, the caste system in India. Caste system in India has several topics like First, the caste system in India. Second, evil faces of this system. Under sub-points are untouchability, discrimination, division of labor, and salary. Third, government initiatives. And fourth, right to equality. Under right to equality, there are equality before law, equality in matter of public employment, abolition of untouchability, and abolition of titles. The Indian society is divided into various sects and classes. This is because of the caste system, which is prevalent in the Asian Vedas, dividing people on the basis of varna or occupation. It has brought many evils in the society. The government is constantly striving to overcome the harms of the system and bring about the true equality among the people. Caste system in India. The caste system is banned for the Indian society. It divides the Indian society into segregation groups and classes. Even today, it plays a predominant role in our society despite the growth of culture and civilization. The term scheduled castes and scheduled tribes (SC/STs) are the official term used in government documents to identify former untouchables and tribes. However, in 2008, National Commission for Scheduled Castes, noticing that the word Dalit was used interchangeably with the official term scheduled caste, asked the state government to end the use of the word Dalit in official document by calling the term unconstitutional and to replace it with the term scheduled caste instead. The roots of the caste system are tracked back to the ancient ages. While one view discriminates between the caste as upper and lower caste on the basis of their origin, another view traces the origin of the caste to varnas, which classifies the caste system on the basis of their functions. Since then, it was found that undue advantage was taken to the section of people having an upper hand and a say in the community, leading to discrimination and exploitation of the weaker sections of the community. The people from scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, referred to as untouchables, from 1/6 of the Indian population or 1/6 million, they endure discrimination and segregation. Evil faces of this system. The evil faces of this system are like the untouchability, discrimination, division of labor, slavery, etc. Untouchability. Many villages are separated by caste and they may not cross the line dividing them from the higher caste. They also may not use the same wells or drink in the same tea stalls as the higher caste. Discrimination. They often do not have the facility to electricity, sanitation facilities or water pumps in the lower caste neighborhoods. Access to better education, housing, and medical facilities than that of the higher caste is denied. Division of labor. They are restricted to certain occupations like sanitation work, plantation work, leather works, cleaning streets, etc. Slavery. They are subjected to exploitation in the name of the debt, tradition, etc. to work as laborers or perform menial tasks for generations together. Government initiatives. The Indian government has enacted laws to remove untouchability and also has brought in many reforms to improve the quality of life for the weaker section of the society. Few among them are constitutionally guaranteed fundamental human rights, abolition of untouchability in 1950, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, prevention of authorities Act 1989, provision of reservation in places like educational institutions for employment, opportunities, etc., and establishing Social Welfare Department and National Commission to the welfare of scheduled castes and tribes. These measures adopted by the government have brought some relief to the weaker sections of society. The urban areas have shown good amount of impact and some improvement. However, people in rural areas and villages still face extreme discrimination. We indeed have a long way to go in achieving the objects set to eradicate and abolish discrimination on the basis of caste and creed. Right to equality. The fundamental rights are granted to protect the basic human rights of all citizens and are put into effect by the courts, subject to some limitations. One of such fundamental rights is the right to equality. Right to equality refers to the equality in the eyes of law, discarding any unfairness on grounds of caste, creed, sex, and race, religion, or birth of place. It also includes equality of prospects in matter of employment, abolition of untouchability, and abolition of titles. Article 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 of the Constitution of India highlights the right to equality in details. This fundamental right is the major fundamental of all the other rights and privileges granted to the Indian citizens. It is one of the chief guarantees of the Constitution of India. Thus, it is imperative that every citizen of India has easy access to the courts to exercise his or her equality right. Various articles under the right to equality are equality before law, equality in matter of public employment, abolition of untouchability, abolition of titles. So, in conclusion, I would like to say caste remains a very dynamic and very challenging field of study, and in fact, with the rise of so many caste organizations, caste associations, caste-based political parties in Indian political scenario, we would definitely expect that caste in coming days will be giving a new kind of flip to the Indian policies, a new kind of thrust to the Indian politics, and thereby a new kind of Indian nation state would evolve, which would definitely establish a kind of equality and justice. May not be like the kind of justice and equality of the Western civilization has noticed, but the new kind of indigenous justice and equality would be able in an Indian state, ushering in through the dynamics and interplay of various categories and policies, and particularly in the caste. Thank you.